more magic for him. So if we do a small hole like this, what you can do is you can put a thumb or a finger inside of there, and you can walk out. Pretend I'm walking out on stage. You can walk out like this. You can show both sides. You can do your spin and everything, because this ball is really, really lightweight. I'm holding on to it with one finger like that, and from an angle point of view, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, that's as far as a bowling ball production, traditionally they're very, very angly, but this one is very simple. And then to do the production, just slide your finger out, and there you go. The bowling ball. Any questions? Let's see if he's paying attention. All right, good, good, good. All right. Good reflexes. Now, this idea, the idea behind suspending the weight of an object to do a production goes back into stage magic quite a long time. There was an illusion where two female assistants or dancers would carry like a lightweight screen on stage, and then they would from there produce somebody else. And the idea there was to have a wire that would suspend that person, and so you could suspend that weight. So suspending weight is a neat idea because you're convinced that the bag is empty, because if I had a bowling ball inside of this very heavy object, I would not be able to handle it so lightly like that. It would be very hard to move. But you can take this method and apply it to other things. If you want to do close-up, we can use a bag. Sure hope there are no ghosts in here. I said I sure hope there are no ghosts in there. Ah! It's not a ghost. Do this. And let's say I had you pick a card. Name a card, any card. Joker, perfect. Joker, perfect. Yeah, it's a joker. Oh, that wasn't your card? What is this, some sort of ransom? Okay. Okay. You could do that. You could produce a brick with somebody's card on there. Here, I'm kidding. That's a real brick. He had the hands up. It's going to learn here. So that is a way to do this close up, and that's just the bag. Again, this actually was somebody's dinner here. I sold the bag, and it smells like barbecue. Really. Here, go ahead. No. Seriously. Sorry, kidding. Anyhow, you can use use a lunch bag for that and a brick. Funny story, not really funny. It's more like, wow, you're an idiot, Andrew. When I first did the bowling ball, I thought, well, the next thing to do for close-up, it would be cool to do a brick production. And I had this sort of classical idea. I wanted to go get, I had a brick picked out. And then I was going to, I had an idea I didn't even have the brick, but I thought, okay, what if I use like a dove harness, some sort of apparatus that holds on to it with release, and I sketched this out, I mapped this out, and I'm like, perfect, I have this whole gimmick to be able to do it. And I went to the hardware store to get a brick, and all I could find were the bricks like this, which is most bricks are like in the Southeast and around the United States. They have holes in them. I'm like, how am I going to do my harness thing? Wow, how am I going to do that? And then I realized, idiot, just stick your thumb in the brick. So that's all you need to do is put the brick inside of the bag, have a hole, put your thumb right there, and when you're ready, release it. Any questions? Woo! Yay! All right. So I like to do, for my very first trick like that, I like things that are easy because they're a confidence booster. When you walk on stage and you're worried about a setup or a gimmick, I think it's very good to start with something that you know is the easiest thing you can do, but is very visual, because once you do that and the audience says, okay, this person has credibility, which I quickly diminish, but when you have credibility, then you feel better about what you're going to do, and then you can move on to more complicated stuff. But most of what I do is very simple, very, very visual. And I'm going to do a mixture of platform and close-up and some stage. I'm not going to sort of delineate when one starts and when the other begins. Now if you're a stage performer, you might sometimes do close-up magic. If you're called in to perform in somebody's house, sometimes they put you in the living room and you're in front of a bunch of people, and that little close-up trick doesn't work. You need to think bigger. So we're going to go all over the place. This is one of my favorite close-up effects. It uses playing cards, and I used to do a lot of card magic when I was younger, and I loved different kinds of card magic. I loved playing with card manipulation. I loved to do back palming. I loved to do coin sleights. I loved to do all kinds of close-up. The reason I love card magic, though, was because I like the idea of playing with a physical object. And one of the things I loved about playing cards was that playing cards are kind of an abstract idea. in some ways, in that they're basically slips of paper, but they have some sort of significance to them. And if you watch James Bond movies, you know, you can watch the whole weight of the Western world ride on just one turnover of a card in Monte Carlo. If you do magic, you know, you can use it for miracles and stuff. But cards also are physical objects. And I love the idea of playing cards as physical objects and started to play around with that a little bit more. And so I would start doing card tricks, and the next thing you know, I would start to tear them apart and to see what kind of fun I could have with them. And let's tear these apart. I'm doing this with my bare hands, by the way. Should be impressed. Or not. All right. Now, I've massacred 2 playing cards, and I've created 2 frames. If I wanted to try to link these, okay, if I wanted to link these together, find the best place to stand here. If I wanted to link these together, okay, there are a couple ways I could do that link. One way would be to do kind of an imaginary link like that, where I could sort of say they're sort of linked, but if you look closely, you know they're not. I could weave one through the other one, and you can tell by the stillness in the room that's not very impressive, okay? I could kind of do a Celtic knot thing. I tried to find another way to cause it to fuse and then to link, and to do that just involved a little bit of a touch like that. Okay? Normally I walk around the room and I let people look at, but when I walk off camera, it's not as effective, is it? Okay, so here we have 2 cards linked together. Now we're going to do the hard part, which is going to be the unlink, which happens like that. Okay. Would you do me a favor? Would you come up here for a second? Yeah, you and the young lady behind you, both of you. Okay. Sir, would you stand right over here? Okay. Oh yeah, sorry, just yeah, careful. There's a tiger back there. That's a lie. Would you check that one out? Okay. Would you do me a favor? Would you go check that out? Pull on that. Okay. Now there's no magnets. There's no. It's solid. It's solid all the way around. Okay. There's nothing like no hidden portals into space. I don't know. I mean, it's a solid all the way around.
It is.
Okay. Same. Solid. Okay. Let's take this. Take this one. You both can have your seats back. Okay. Everybody's been watching very closely. My sleeves are rolled up. You want to see that again?
Yes.
All right. Let's try this again.